Hello and welcome back to another Train Simulator 2021 episode. I'm Joe and today we're going to be looking at this spectacular Armstrong Powerhouse Enhancement Pack for the... Christ alive, that's loud! For the Class 3 to 5 electric multiple unit. We're sat here at Peterborough and we're going to be running a service down towards London King's Cross, or just towards King's Cross, and we branch off to a Royal Mail sorting depot, I imagine, just before then. So yeah, released yesterday, and it really is a much needed improvement to the Class 3 to 5. Now I have got the manual with me as well open, so I can tell you all about what this train will feature. Now at this moment in time I've got it with, like, it's not with a guard, but when you press the traditional T, the doors open as they normally would. Now when the doors close, you don't get a buzz because there's no guard on it. It's like driver only, but it's not driver only. Someone else does the doors. It's very weird. But it does come with the driver only setting, so if you do want to, you can press Control and R, and as you can see at the star at the top right there, it says staff operated. When the doors are closed, you can then change it to driver operated, and you can do the doors with these buttons from in the cab here. Or can you? It said red buttons. Press the red buttons in the cab. Where are they? Right door's closed, left door's closed. It said red buttons in the cab, but I'm not quite sure where those red buttons are. Oh, what's that? I can hear a... Is it a 170? It'll be coming over there if it's a 170. Ah, there we go, Central Trains. I've just realised I need to actually, get our cab set up. Have we got the lights on? There we go. Headlights are on. I think we'll go with the night light setting here. Can we go with the? There we go. Night light setting. Are we off? Splendid. Off we go. Now, obviously, this is, or it does have, the cab of a networker. Rather weird because, unlike the other networkers, the buffers are just exposed here, and it doesn't have the kind of plasticky fiberglass covering over the front. You'll also notice that it doesn't have the traditional Metro Camel traction motors, because this has the same traction motors as the 319. So if we look at it from the side, it is more or less a 319. If we look from the front, it's a very weird one, isn't it? It's kind of a weird hybrid of things going on there. It also features wheel slip protection, as does most of the Armstrong Powerhouse Enhancement pack nowadays. And you do have various levels of wheel slip. Features AC and DC modes as well, which can be changed depending on what route you are running on. You see, there's... this is set in 2003, so we've got... What is it? Western and Great Northern. We've Network South East. Yeah, there's a Western and Great Northern. There's a lot going on, isn't there, here? Very busy indeed. This pack can be yours for £9.99 whole pence via the Armstrong Powerhouse website. The link is in the description. And if you're quick, the 325 multiple unit pack, because obviously this is an enhancement pack, you are required to have the original Dovetail Games version. Now, originally when I bought this and installed it this morning, got on this scenario, my train wasn't there, and I was like, this is a bit weird. Because I thought that I owned the 325, and I didn't. I bought the enhancement pack and didn't own the original version. But luckily, the March Madness sale, it is on sale for just over £3 at this moment in time, and that sale is on until the 25th of March 2021. So head on over now and get hold of that to get it at a heavily reduced rate. I think it's 70% off or something like that. But yeah, definitely worth doing. It comes with 2 liveries and 3 scenarios. The 2 liveries are kind of this original Royal Mail livery, and then there's another one without the yellow kind of tick on it there. Now, the body side interlock lights. This is one that I've, you can always tell when you've seen a 325 going past. When I'm conductoring my trains, and you'll be at night, you won't be able to to see a blithering thing out the back, and all of a sudden all these blue lights will just go flashing past you. And these are, of course, the body side lights here. You know, you see those there, and not all of them are lit. If you look there, they're not lit there, but these ones are. Now, it's a very peculiar one, is this, and I often wondered why are the lights lit, and some of them are and some of them aren't. So this is an extract from the manual, because I am reading the manual. Over the years, there have been a degree of mystery surrounding the blue body side lights on these units, which are often seen illuminated on the move. After consulting official documentation and online sources, the consensus appears to be that these are interlock lights for the doors, which will illuminate if a door on the relevant vehicle has not been securely latched closed. That's a bit concerning, isn't it, if they're running around with the lights lit? When these units were pressed into service, however, it was agreed that all containers within the train would be secured with webbing straps whilst in transit. Therefore, it was no longer considered a safety issue if the doors were not securely closed, and as a result these lights have been ignored by rail staff ever since. So much so, there is even an entry in the rulebook to this effect. So yeah, the blue lights, sometimes they'll be lit. Ooh, 365. Yeah, sometimes they'll be lit, sometimes they won't be lit. Now, what I love about Armstrong Powerhouse, and this is why I gave the 323 in the last video such a scathing review, is because the levels of detail that Armstrong Powerhouse go to recreate, you know, these packs. To simulate this, the blue body side interlock lights will remain lit on some vehicles once the doors are closed. As you can see, some of them are lit. Each vehicle has been given a 50-50 chance of whether they will stay lit or not, and this is recalculated every single time the doors are closed. Isn't that amazing? I mean, that is just incredible. The levels of detail that they go to, you know, to just get it spot on. And this is what infuriates me so much with the likes of Dovetail Games and, you know, the 323 add-on that came out. I mean, I'll try not to talk about the 323, but some people had, you know, said, oh well, you know, they've tried the best, and you know, and yeah, I get that they, although I don't even think they did try the best, but when you look at something like this and the quality of this product, there's just no excuse for things not being this level. And I mean, Armstrong Powerhouse are charging £9.99 for this. You know, so I know they haven't had to model the train, but they have made edits to the model. You know, the cab is improved, or well, the documentation says it's improved. I never owned this beforehand, so I can't really compare it. There's also the arcing of the pantograph, which yeah, that is a feature. Special attention has been given to simulating arcing between the pantograph and the overhead wire. Now, what I believe arcing is, and I could be wrong here, but I believe that, like, at the beginning of the day, sometimes you'll see a train with the pantograph flashing, you know, really bright flashes of light flickering as it's, you know, as it's going along, where the electricity is arcing between the pantograph and the overhead knitting. From 1 hour after sunrise to 1 hour after sunset on a dry day, there is only light arcing. So Train Simulator will calculate. I've just realised I'm in full power and we're slowing down. Can we, yep, go a bit quicker please? From 1 hour after sunset until 1 hour after sunrise even, there is moderate arcing to simulate the moisture that tends to build up on the overhead wire once night falls. There is also moderate arcing when raining at any time of day. So obviously it's not sunset yet. Ah, hang on. There you go. You can see it. Look at that. The pantograph is arcing. That is absolutely incredible. I've never noticed that happen on Train Sim add-ons before. That's absolutely brilliant. I'm such a fan of that. During the winter, from 1 hour after sunset to 1 hour after sunrise, there is heavy arcing to simulate the ice and frost that builds up on overhead wires. and the arcing will become more frequent as you gain speed. That is just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. That is brilliant. I just can't get my head around that, how ace that is. I mean, obviously if you're running on third rail DC, you won't see the pantograph arcing for obvious reasons. When arcing, you will visually see it on the pantograph, which illuminates the area around it to a varying degree with each arc. Please note that the illumination of the surrounding area will only occur after sunset and before sunrise, i.e. at night time. You will audibly hear it if the arcing is moderate or heavy. That's just brilliant. And I mean, even as you continue, the variable power and brake performance. I mean, just listen to this. Any train driver will tell you that, especially on older stock, braking and power performance can vary quite noticeably from unit to unit, despite being within the same class. We have simulated this variance by randomly allocating a brake factor, in inverted commas, and power factor every time you drive a unit in the simulator. This factor can reduce or increase performance by a maximum of 8% either way, and there is no way of finding out what factor your unit has been allocated except for assessing its feel when powering or braking. That's mad. That's absolutely insane. That's absolutely brilliant. I mean, just even better, variable traction motor volume. So I'm so excited about this. I mean, I feel I need to be after the complete slating I gave Dovetail Games in the last video, but the Class 325s are known for their loud traction motors. I can barely hear myself think here, you know, from listening to the traction motors from behind us. But in reality, some were louder than others, and to simulate this, we've implemented a random motor factor, much like the brake and acceleration factor, to each motor bogie, which ranges from 1 to 6, 1 being the quietest and 6 being the loudest. It cannot be changed by the player. So that's insane. So on different units, it will be different volumes. You've also got, much like, well, I didn't enjoy this on the 323, but if you look, the automatic numbering, 325008 on the front, 325008 on the back. That's awesome. You know, it's little things like this that just make it for me. I'm a hardcore train simulator. You know, I've been playing Train Simulator for years and years and years and years and years, and for me, especially from working on the railway myself and seeing how it actually is in real life, for me, these little details are the things that just drive me wild. You know, this is what gets me excited, and it's that little bit extra. I'm waving my hands around here. You obviously can't see that, or I hope you can't see that. I'm waving my hands around in excitement. I really am. I mean, I don't do freight trains. It's technically a freight train, isn't it? It's carrying post. But yeah, this is just incredible, and it's that extra little bit that takes it from a game, which is kind of the Dovetail Games level of things, into the train simulator. You know, this is what it's like to drive a train. And then, of course, we've got the bits and bobs section at the bottom. Oh, hang on. There we go. This section is dedicated to aspects of this pack, and don't warrant a dedicated section, but are still things to note, so let's have a look. So the visual cab improvements, of course, I mentioned that earlier, including high-resolution button/switch labels, new illuminated button and gauge visuals. Why does it not surprise me that they weren't included? New TPWS unit visuals, correct power brake controller. HST, love it, in GNER livery as well. Focus Joe, you're telling people about the 325. Ignore the gorgeous GNER livery. You know, another cab minor improvements. Functioning master key, I mean, that's pretty standard, isn't it, with all Armstrong Powerhouse products. If they brought out a product without a functioning master key, I think we'd all turn our nose up at it and go, are you for real? Working in-cab clock to the left of the speedometer. There you go. 21:05 and 31 seconds, 32, 33. Yep, they are perfectly, if I pop that there, perfectly in sync, aren't they? Again, I didn't have this particular unit before, so I don't know if the clock didn't work. I'm assuming it didn't. 4-step reverser, on, off, forward, neutral, reverse. Reverser and power brake controller is reanimated for a more realistic motion. Now, if the 323 was anything to kind of go by, you know, the controls moved too quick. So I imagine, you know, they kind of flew up and down on this as well. And they've been made slower. Again, I could be wrong there. DVD isolation light to the top left of the driver, as well as safety system isolated. So if we turn our... Ah, there we go. If we turn the DVD off, the light will light up. And it's back on there. I mean, again, no in dovetail. It probably didn't even have a DVD, a driver vigilance device, at all. So, you know, the light certainly wouldn't have worked, would it? Functioning brake hold button, which applies the equivalent of step 1 braking. All sounds jolly exciting. Yeah, great. Amended cab camera angle. Special Boogie Cam is available if you switch to the right-hand head-out view. Shift 2, then right arrow. Oh, wow. Boogie Cam. I mean, it's very loud out here, but I like Boogie Cam. I mean, that's a view that you wouldn't get in real life, would you? We might have to go to Boogie Cam next time you know, some sort of high-speed train is flying past in the opposite direction. Wiper operating on AI services. That's brilliant. The wiper has 2 speeds, slow and fast. Visual arms. Put my teeth in, and we'll try that again, shall we? Visual alarms operate outside of the cab when the AWS or DSD or DVD even are active. Visible driver automatically moves to whichever cab you're in. Again, that's a big thing for me. When we were on, you know, when I looked at the double set 323, there was a driver in every single cab, which obviously is not the case at all. You know, that's far too well staffed for how they actually would be in real life. Compressor momentarily rises in pitch when taking power. This did happen. It did happen when I was looking at this earlier. And I kind of thought, oh, that's a bit strange. I wonder, you know, that doesn't sound right. But obviously from reading this, that is correct. That's how it's meant to be. I mean, I don't know why I doubted AP for a second. Do you know what? I actually need to say this as well while we're here. Armstrong Powerhouse are not endorsing this video. I'm not being paid by them at all. I'm going to send them a link to it when I've uploaded and say, will you plug this, you know, to kind of get me a few more views. But they are not paying me to be nice to them at all. This is just my own personal perception of this, and I'm very excited. I don't know if, like, the last... I mean, when did we start? Yeah, I don't know if the last, like, 20 minutes of video have portrayed my excitement enough. I really don't, but this is a train that I'm going to drive again and again and again, to be honest with you. I don't even like the 325. I don't like it at all. And that's how I know, for me, that something is amazing in a simulator. I mean, like, I don't like the Enviro 400 MMC on OMSI, for instance. In real life, I don't like the MMC. I think it's a horrendous bus to travel on, you know, but it's replicated so well in OMSI that I just can drive it again and again and again. Same as the Street Deck and the Gemini 3, to be honest with you. I don't like them. I don't like the 325. I have no interest in any sort of Royal Mail, freight, any of that nonsense. But I love this. I mean, you could technically say you may as well be in a 365 whizzing down the west coast from this view. And, you know, you could be right there. But, yeah, there we go. Compressor, oh no, we've done that. 1 second delay between train passing over AWS magnet and AWS warning sound. That's a common Armstrong Powerhouse, you know, thing. Oh, 365, hello to you, fellow networker. Passenger networker. So yeah, there's a delay on your AWS. Unrealistic aerofoils removed from the pantograph. may as well be speaking Japanese as far as I'm concerned, but I'm sure it's important. But the aerofoils have been removed. We are specifically Sun's aerofoils now. The headlights only provide illumination before sunrise and after sunset. This is to avoid the unrealistic appearance of projected light in broad daylight. That is something that you often see with Dovetail Games add-ons. I mean, I hadn't particularly noticed it until it pointed it out just then, but I can see that in my head now, yeah. There are nameplates. Oh, hang on. High quality headlight, marker light and tail light visuals, including LED variants on 325007. I can't show you that because we're on 325008, but what I can show you is Peter Howarth, CBE, this gorgeous nameplate. And again, I didn't even know they'd named some of them, but there are nameplates for 325002, 006 and 008. 7 overhead line warning sticker variations. That's things like... oh no, that's don't lean out the window. I'm sure they're in the cab somewhere. They should have them in the cab. They'll be on the outside of the train, won't they? Normally at the end of the carriages. There we go, in the middle there. That's one. Danger, overhead wires. Why are we slowing down? Take the throttle off and put it back on. There we go. Turn it off and on again if it doesn't work. So that is essentially all I have to tell you about the Class 325. If you haven't got it, you know, even if you think, well, you know, I don't really have any interest in the 325, just go and get it, because I tell you, especially if you haven't got the Dovetail Games version, when it's on for £3.59, I think it is at the moment, on sale, you definitely need to just go and get it, because it's just ace. It is absolutely ace. And again, I'm not a particular lover of this unit in real life, but it's such a pleasure to drive, it really is. And this is what I keep coming back to. It's a pleasure to drive, and that's what I look for in a train sim add-on. Regardless of whether I like it in real life, what feeling do I get when I'm driving it? And with this, it's just nice. I feel like I'm driving a proper train. I don't feel like I'm playing a game. And this is, for me, where I feel that train sim add-ons need to be at now, you know, just as a base. But, I mean, I like the guys over at AP. I think they're brilliant. And I guess if Dovetail got it right first time round, they'd be out of a job, wouldn't they? And, you know, I'd never wish to see them out of a job, because I think what they do is incredible. It would be nice, however, maybe if AP and Dovetail worked together. And, you know, I've said this from day one. Why don't Dovetail just hire AP to do everything sound and physics and cab related? Because, or Dovetail make the mod and just send it to AP straight away. That, for me, is, you know, where it should be. It's what I expect. You know, the problem is, the better that things get, the higher people's expectations are. And what we've seen from AP with like the 319, with all the electric things they've done, the 156 in particular was a fantastic DMU. You know, this is what I'm expecting now, and you know, anything less than this, and I'm just not really that interested, to be honest with you. I'm excited for a 323 from Armstrong Powerhouse. I think it's coming, you know. That's just my own personal opinion. Let's start a rumour. But no, I think that there's a lot of, from Armstrong Powerhouse's point of view, there's a wide catchment area. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised, like I say, that the 325 enhancement pack, given the original 325 from Dovetail came out in 2012, I believe it was, I'm surprised we've had to wait this long for an enhancement pack for the 325. I mean, this is a train that runs more or less all over the country, whereas electrified, you know, you'll see them up in Newcastle, you'll see them on the West Coast main line up near Shap, you know, you'll see these more or less the length and breadth of the country. And, you know, so I really am surprised it's taken them this long to do it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't matter now because they have done it, and I didn't realise I'd missed it. What was it? What was it? Carly Rae Jepsen said in "Call Me Maybe." Before you came into my life, I missed you so bad. Yeah, so that's not particularly good English, is it? But, you know, I didn't realise how much I missed this train until I had it now. But yeah, for the 323 in particular, I mean, you've got London Midland, you've got West Midlands Trains liveries, Centro, you know, regional railways. Up in Manchester, you've got that GMPTE brown horrid livery. Ooh, you said regional railways was bad and horrid. Oh, the spotters will be lynching you. But yeah, First North Western, First Barbie, Northern Rail, the new Northern livery, which I'm not particularly a fan of, but it's a livery. You know, you've got them all up in Manchester, you've got them down in West Midlands. So I think that there is a real business case for Armstrong Powerhouse to do a 323, and I think that it will cut. I really do think it will cut. I mean, we might have to wait maybe, you know, usually they're what, maybe a couple of years, maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years. Maybe he's working on it now, we just don't know. But I think it will be certainly worth the wait, especially when you look at the quality of this 325 add-on. Sadly, no passenger view. I don't know if... Why would you have a passenger view, you blithering idiot? There's no windows in the side of the train. Okay, so maybe that was a stupid thing to come out with. But yeah, no, like, you know, you could press 5 and be in the Royal Mail sorting thing and, you know, see all the bags. You wouldn't be able to see out the window, so it'd be kind of redundant, wouldn't it? But yeah. Yeah, think about what you're going to say before you say it, Joe, for goodness sake. Let's get a nice little photo. You know I'm a lover of a good picture. I should really have got a photo before we left Peterborough, because it's getting darker now, isn't it? Dear me, I'm actually struggling to work out where we are. I can kind of do the East Coast Main Line. I mean, it's that long since I've been down here. I kind of know where I am when I get to Hitchin, because obviously all the lines come in from the left, from Cambridge, Kings Lynn and up round there. But I do kind of feel a bit lost at the moment. We've not gone through Hitchin, and, you know, in the excitement I just didn't notice, have we? What's that? Alsey. Yep, we've not gone through Hitchin. That's fine, that's fine. Ooh, get a bit of the old DSD. See, we call it the DSD up north, the driver safety device. You know, as the DVD on these. Maybe, you know, maybe they're just called, you know, different things depending on what company you're at. We're kind of just plodding down the East Coast now, aren't we? You know, I'm surprised we've not seen much northbound traffic. I mean, this scenario is set in 2003, so I don't know what kind of, you know, what the frequency was. I think maybe was there an hourly Leeds service at this point in 2003 and an hourly Newcastle? I mean, I think the last GNAR train we saw was the HST, wasn't it? Boogie Cam. Love Boogie Cam. Boogie Cam works well for me, Armstrong Powerhouse. Can we have some Boogie Cam in all future add-ons, please? I think as well, on your 323, which you probably don't even know yourself you're making yet, but I've told you you're making one, so, you know, when you do your 323 enhancement pack... oh, there's a train coming, let's get to Boogie Cam. Ah! Wow! That was a Class 90, I believe, with some Mark 1 carriages. Yeah, when, you know, you don't know you're doing your 323 yet, but when you do your 323, can we have some Boogie Cam with that so that we can listen to the traction motors, so we can be next to them and hear them and get all excited and, you know, wave our hands in the air and do that kind of flailing thing that everyone does out the window of trains. That's not too dissimilar to a certain salute you get in on the continent in the 1940s. But everyone does it on trains, don't they? And you know, they get very excited. I believe it's called the flail. But yeah, you perhaps shouldn't be likening that to you know, political. Oh dear. Slippery slope, Joe. Slippery slope. But yeah. Let's have some Boogie Cam with a 323 enhancement pack. Oh, we're at hitching. You see, I can do hitching. Let's. Oh, there's a 365 over there. Very nice, fellow networker. And you see, there's all the other staff on the railway that are, you know, pottering about. You know, like him in the Class 90, that lass that were driving that 365 there at Hitchin. They're all looking at the blue lights on the outside of our train, thinking to themselves, why are they lit up? What does that mean? And you know, and we obviously know what that means now because we have the enhancement pack. I feel educated. I do feel educated after this, and I'm glad if you didn't know the reason, then you know why the blue lights were always lit on these. I hope you can feel educated too. I'm glad I could pass this on to you. And we can all be educated together. Ooh, what's this? Oh, a 313, is it? Yeah, Network South East 313. Whoa. I hadn't realised quite how hilly the East Coast main line was. I mean, until most of the things I drive down here with have speed set, you know, like whenever I drive down here it tends to be in a 91, so you don't realise, you know, it's what I would define as lazy driving. You know, just speed set 125, leave it on full throttle, and it holds it at 125. That's, you know, that's ace. But it is lazy driving, isn't it? Compared to this, where you constantly like throttle on, throttle off, throttle on, throttle off. You know, it's yeah, definitely lazy driving on my part. Oh, 91. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? And this is why the East Coast main line for me just trumps the West Coast. Controversial opinion. I know my other half was born and raised in Bolton, and so as far as he's concerned, it's all about the West Coast main line, and it's, you know, oh look, there's a Pendolino over there. I'm like, bollocks to the Pendolino, let's get on a 91 from London. Whoa. Oh, you know, or an HST. And it you know, it's such a shame the HSTs have gone. I really do miss the you know, I really do miss the HSTs. It's such a shame. I mean, you know, it was time for them to go, but I just don't get that same feeling of excitement getting on a you know, an 801, an 800. You know, it just doesn't feel the same. And you know, I'm sure that when the HSTs were new, you'd have them all sat there going, oh, well, you know, it's not a Deltic, is it? You know, it doesn't feel the same. It's modern, it's plastic, it's rubbish. And here we are 40 years later saying the same thing about the HST. You know, so I get that. I do. Ooh, 365. I do get that. But still, I do miss seeing the HSTs about. Oh, there's a line branching off to the left there. Is that where the Hertford Loop begins? I don't even know where we are. I believe that is where the Hertford Loop begins. Very nice, very nice. I didn't even know we had the Hertford Loop on this route. Apparently we do. Is there any scenery around it? Can you actually drive around there? I don't know. Nebworth? Which means next stop Stevenage. I imagine, and I could be mistaken here, but I would have imagined it would have said like class 325008 and then max speed 100 miles an hour on the cab. I'm assuming these can do 100 miles an hour. Well, this particular one can, because we've been doing 100 miles an hour for most of the journey. But yeah, I mean they might be able to do 110. They might be able to do 125. I mean, I believe it's 100. I'd be willing to put money on it's 100, but you know, so this is seriously fast post. But yeah, it would be nice to have kind of had that in the cab. That's one of the things. I mean, the 325 might not have that in the cab. It just, from my observation and you know the trains that I've worked over the years, it always says above the window or you know somewhere clearly visible the unit number and the speed, the maximum speed that the train could do. So I'm happy to stand corrected on that. But that might not have been Nebworth. That might have been Stevenage back there that I just kind of ignored, because I think we're coming up to Welling North, aren't we here? The tunnels before Welling North. There we go. This is looking Welling Northy. Let's see. Can we get a... that might be a nice picture. I think, you know, our little selfie stick that was hanging out the cab window there might have just decapitated a woman on the platform. Ah, look at that over Welling Viaduct. Whizzing over the viaduct. Very nice. It is gorgeous, isn't it? You know, love or hate Royal Mail, you can't deny their livery on the trucks, on, you know, and everything about them on this train. The livery is just fantastic. I think there is a lot to be said about a livery that's one base colour with a coloured stripe down the side. You know, GNER got it right. Deutsche Bahn over in Germany, fantastic livery. Oh, we've got the EMU sidings at Welling Garden City there, and Welling Garden City here. Oh, look, all the lights have just come on the block of flats on the left. Who's honking that horn? I'll be writing a strongly worded letter to my MP. Literally, rewind it. I swear, maybe it was just me noticing it, but I'm pretty sure as soon as I tooted the horn... Oh, 365. As soon as I tooted the horn, the lights in those flats came on. So this is like, for me, this is the final stretch into London, which is, you know, I mean, particularly when you've, I mean, if you're on a Welling Garden City to London commuter service, then maybe you won't feel the same, you know, because this is just the beginning of the journey. But when you've come down from like Leeds, or for instance, if you've come down from Bradford with Grand Central, as soon as you see Welling Garden City, you know that you're into like the last lap of your journey now. This is the final bit before we arrive. You know, there's 313s littered about the place. You know, you can't look without seeing a 313. Well, you couldn't. You can't look without seeing a 717. Is that what they're called now? You know, a 717 they're just everywhere, aren't they now? And 700s, and it's just Desiro cities. And I like Desiros, don't get me wrong, they're the bread and butter of the traction that I work. Not Desiro cities, but Desiros themselves. So I do love a good Desiro. They're potentially the best built trains that I've ever worked. Obviously I've never worked a Desiro city with me being from the north, but from what I've seen, just a fantastic built trains. Really kind of stable, sturdy. You know, the Germans just get it right, don't they? They're just good at everything, and they're irritatingly good at everything. You know, so it really is. It really is. You know, yeah. I shouldn't really be sad that the Desiro cities are everywhere, but I do kind of miss seeing 317s and 313s, and you know, the 313s in particular. They were shagged, weren't they, towards the end of their working life? You know, you'd see them, and you just, because obviously Govia weren't going to repaint them, knowing that they were getting rid of them. They, you know, the first Capital Connect livery was just shagged on them, absolutely shagged. They were dropping in bits, weren't they? They really were. But I still miss them. They had character. But then again, I'm sure in 30 years, the 700s and the 707s and all them, they'll all have character as well, won't they? They just need a bit of time for, you know, a few of them to be involved in, you know, different incidents that'll kind of make them a bit more unique. And as much as I wouldn't wish for any train or any member of train crew or any passenger for that matter to be involved in incidents, unfortunately incidents do happen, don't they? You know, it's just a sad fact of life that every now and then an incident will happen. Yep, let's get a bit of the old DVD, as they seem to keep calling it, DSD. Perhaps it's just me, but some of the lighting on this route seems to be showing its age now. You know, in comparison to some of the more modern routes. You know, like when we went through the station back there, it was quite a bright lighting, wasn't it? Maybe, like I say, maybe it's just me, but it doesn't seem. I mean, this is an old route now, isn't it? It was one of the first that came out, as far as I'm aware, for train sim. We got the National Express liveried HST with it all those years ago, and a 365 in First Capital Connect livery. God, that does seem a while ago now, doesn't it? I don't actually know what the brakes are like on this thing, so you know, when it does come to the point where we need to start slowing down, I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen, to tell you the honest truth. Honest truth. Why do I keep saying honest truth? Because if it wasn't the honest truth, it wouldn't be the truth, would it? I need to get out of the habit of saying that. Ah, now this is one of my favourite stations on the East Coast Main Line. For some random reason, I don't know, I've never actually set foot in Hadley Wood, but I like the fact that, you know, you come through these tunnels, go powering through Hadley Wood, and then you go back into some more tunnels. I just quite like that. You know, I like Googling Hadley Wood Railway Station and just watching the trains go flying through. And this is not Hadley Wood Station, it's round the corner through these tunnels and then it's Hadley Wood. But yeah, I like watching the trains go whizzing through the station. I think there's something super enjoyable and unique as well about it. You know, you don't get many stations like this. We've got tunnels, station, with 323s as well. Not 323s, 313s, you idiot. You've got 323s on the brain. I'm still scarred after last video. And back into another tunnel. dearie me. I think, considering we've not got speed set, I'd like to think I've done quite well to hold it at the speed. I do occasionally, when I'm talking and waffling on, I do get quite excited and start like pointing and flapping and waving my arms around. Like I say, you can't see that, but then the speed might dip by 5 miles an hour. So yeah, I think overall I've done quite well to keep it around the 100 mark. Just feathering the throttle a little bit. It helps now we appear to be on a downhill section. Is this Alexandra Palace? No. The short answer to that, no it's not, it's Oakley Park. I don't even know if you can see the Alexandra Palace on train sim. I've never looked, to be honest with you. But you obviously can see it out the right hand side when travelling south, up on the hill. And I think, is it the Emirates Stadium for Arsenal that you see on the left coming into London? I know, I know when it comes to football I am a complete ignoramus. I don't know the first thing about football. My other half is incredibly interested in football, and my sports... Oh, 91! See, that's what gets me excited. My sports knowledge is somewhat limited, and usually we have some very surreal discussions. He does like to make fun of my lack of knowledge, and I mean, I had Chris Kamara on my train, which if you don't know who that is, then congratulations, you're in the same boat as I was. He's the man on, is it Sky, that shouts, "It's unbelievable, Jeff," or something to that extent. And he was actually on my train, travelling in first class. And, I walked through and I was doing my tickets. And I was like, "Hello, tickets from Manchester Victoria." And, he showed me his ticket. I literally looked straight at him, didn't have a clue, carried on. And there was a manager sat, Bounce Green Depot on the left-hand side there. And so there was a manager sat just outside first class, and she was like really excited, and she was like, "Have you met him? Have you met the celebrity?" And I'm like, "No." Who's the celebrity? She was like, "It's Chris Kamara." And I looked and then Googled it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I do recognise him. I hadn't a clue until you said." And then I just said in passing when I got home, I was like, "Oh, you'll never guess who was on my train, Chris Camarillo." And I was kind of looked at like I had 3 heads, or like I'd just done something completely ridiculous. And they were like, "Chris who?" I'm like, Chris Camarillo off the sport, off the football. It's unbelievable, Jeff. And I was laughed at, and I still get the mickey taken out of me for that blunder up until this date now. So again, just to reiterate, my knowledge of sports. So yes, this is the Emirates Stadium, where I believe Arsenal play. Well, it's not, because we're not there yet. It's just after Finsbury Park. I believe, is this Haringey? I think something along those lines. I've just realised as well, I'm not looking at the signals at all, but I believe that we are still... Yeah, they're checking us down speed limit wise now. Yeah, well, the brakes, you'll be pleased to know, seem to be quite good. We've got Finsbury Park here. There we go. Is that the stadium in front? I don't actually know where Camden Road Chord is, I imagine, to be honest with you. that we're... hang on, surely we're not... Oh, is Camden Road Court where you go round towards, like, London St Pancras? Can you get round there? I think it might be, you know. Oh, there we go. There's the Emirates Stadium. And we're going past, is that 317? Yes, it is. In the gorgeous Network Southeast slash... Well, it's kind of a Network Southeast with a green stripe. And I've just realised I was too busy looking at the Emirates that we're going to go whizzing through this 40. Hold on a second. So hang on. Right. They have brought a passenger service to a stand for a Royal Mail train. I find that very hard to believe. I kind of imagined that we'd be checked down. You know, rather than bringing a passenger service to a stand, we are technically a freight train. I could not believe for 1 second that, you know, we will be let through as priority. Surely not. I'm not going to argue, because I quite like going through fast. You know, not having to wait for things, but surely that's not how it will be in real life. Unless that's early. It's a stopping train, why would it be early? Think before you speak. But there we go. So, yeah, Camden Road Court. This is where we... I don't believe we stop. Oh, we actually do stop. Yes, this is where, you know, our video is going to end today. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Do you like the 325? Are you going to be buying it? Do, of course... Oh, I'm speeding. Do, of course, let me know. Subscribe so you never miss out. I always aim to bring you the newest and best of Train Simulator, so do subscribe so you never miss out on that. And click like on the video if you did like the video. It helps me, it helps the video get more views, etc. And it makes for a very happy Joe. Until next time, cheerio, and goodbye for now. Look at those blue lights. Aren't they gorgeous? And yeah, gorgeous. Cheerio!